Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.
And David Lauer.
Episode 9 of Invasion of the Champions. An officer and a gentlewoman.
This has to be one of the greatest titles of an episode. Not only this season, but ever. Am I wrong? I love it. This is the greatest title.
You're not right, but you're not wrong either. I mean, it's a good title. I like it.
I think it's way better than the other ones we've seen. Cornisa? That was a bad title to an episode. It's one of the worst of all time. Where they took their Corey and Anissa and mashed the names together where it sounded like a bad sort of...
Sound like a meal.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Some kind of hot dish that you do not want to eat.
Served in high school and public lunches and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Which is getting the budget cut this year. That's the proposed. No, we're not going to get political this episode.
Wow, I'm nowhere. Wolf Blitzer over here.
But we'll talk about numbers. Yeah, let's talk about numbers. This episode, I just want to say right off the bat, is a champion day, right? A champion elimination episode, right?
Yep. So the ratings are higher because people want to see the champ.
Yes. The peak episode this season was the very first one, which was Zach and Darrell and Cara Maria and Ashley, right? Mm-hmm. That was huge. That was the peak of this season, and that was a .89. So 890,000 people tuned in for that episode, right? And I'm sure producers were like, holy shit, it's finally paying off, like this was a main event sort of situation, and now people are going to flock to this episode. Then the episode after that, which was just an underdog day, that dipped. That was only watched by 810,000 people. So that's a dip, right?
Yeah, and that's understandable because people wanted to see the champs, and that's why everything they've been in. That's why it's the whole purpose of this season.
It's the fucking title.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of this season. Is these champions are the reason. And yeah, we brought in all these newbies that nobody cares about, but this is why, because of the champs. They're trying to take them down.
But the episode was an eating contest, which typically gets the numbers. I feel like typically, if you know it's an eating contest episode, or if you know it's a trivia episode, people tune in for this. But it did dip down by a significant amount, that episode 8. So this episode viewed by about 100,000 people more than the previous episode. That's not a big bump. I figured this episode would be huge because now it's like, man, we only have 3 champions to choose from. It's not happening.
It is bigger. It's definitely
by
bigger
not much before. Though. I mean, the peak was .89. Yeah,
but the season premiere is always going to have the highest rating. And then after that, it kind of levels out, and it doesn't matter.
Okay, all right.
It's just going to level out until the very final end. Right. Or, this next episode, they are setting up for a big bump for this next episode. Because of the way they didn't finish the elimination at the end of the episode. So they left that a cliffhanger. So now, next episode, they're going to get a bump, and it'll go even higher. And that's why they did it that way.
Okay,
we're going to have a couple clunkers in a row, and then we're going to put out something good.
All right, I
forgot. The final conclusion.
I forgot, for you listening, is that I personally like to talk about the numbers, the cold, hard facts, but Dave, the bleeding heart liberal, likes to talk about feelings. And
I'm just saying the reasoning behind some of why they're not going to be as much as the season premiere. That's always going to be that one in the final. All
right. Well, enough about the numbers, right? Let's talk about what actually happened in this episode. I personally enjoyed the episode, even though towards the end I'm like, wait a minute, there's not going to be elimination. I was starting to get a little bit annoyed, but still, the episode was pretty good.
Yeah,
right.
All the content I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Not any point where I was like, oh, this is boring, this is lame. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. Oh, this is funny.
Yeah.
I like the whole thing. And it starts off with this creepy, bloody girl in black and white, walking around a pool, and close-ups on her face. And we're like, what the hell is this? And then we see they're doing a costume party.
Yes.
And they did, Laurel... Is she
Bloody
a zombie
Laurel.
or she's she's covered in blood?
A victim.
I don't know if she's a zombie or a victim.
Carrie, maybe from the books, or the movie.
Just like kind of just covered in blood, like white dress. Just she looked fucking phenomenal. Yes. It was so badass.
Man, and she played the role perfectly. She just kind of had this dead-eyed stare, and she would like look into the camera and shit like that.
And Laurel's good at that because Laurel doesn't show a lot of emotion.
Yes.
A lot of the time.
Oh my god, that's a good point.
So she was good at doing that. But this episode, it starts off this way, but it ends up we actually do see some emotion from Laurel.
Oh yes, dude, that's perfect. Well, okay, right away. Why is Laurel full of blood and shit? It's a costume party. This was in October, I'm guessing. Oh my god, Jesus Christ! It's not that time of the month for those sort of jokes, Dave. This is a PC month. Do not say that. No. This is Halloween. Okay, so this was in October, and there was a costume party, right? So, Johnny's wearing his banana costume. CT's wearing a thing. I don't know. Like, it was such a very short fraction of the episode where we immediately have to go to when Jenna and Camilla are like, oh, we got all this makeup on each other. Why don't we wash it off?
Yeah,
let's jump into the pool.
Let's wash off it. And you know what? It's not very respectful to use the pool as a bathtub. I want to start with that. Because that's what I feel like they did. They're like, we'll just wash off our makeup in the bathtub that is a pool. And it's like, no, you're ruining it for other people.
Okay, but you're saying this after the fact. At that moment, you're like, yes, jump in the pool, yes, boob bump, yes. Just fucking touch each other. You're like,
I really wasn't at all because I don't find Camilla attractive. I think Jenna's
that was the weird thing. That was the weirdest thing.
But Camilla, she does nothing for me. So I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, but you're talking about personality. So her personality puts you off so much where you cannot, you're just like, I don't give a shit if your boobs are technically D's. Like, didn't Camilla say that? She's like, these are technically D's.
Yeah.
You know, the technicality of it all. And Jenna's like, what's that? You know what I mean? But yeah, they were boob cheers and naked in the pool. That was amazing. But
but they did this before where they were naked in the pool.
Yeah.
And it's like that weird nude beach in southern France where it's just a bunch of old creepy people who are walking around naked.
Or creepy. They were dumb and hot.
Well, there was no one else joining the party. Nobody saw this as like, hey, let's get on this action. You know, like in a hot tub sometimes. Yeah,
because that was just for us. Can't you see? Jenna and Camilla, yeah, they'll do that for like, maybe Camilla wants to get Johnny's attention. It's like, come on, give it up, girl. He's clearly not that interested in you. No, that was for us, dude. Jenna and Camilla did that for us, the viewers, right?
Whose idea was it? Do you think it was Camilla's? I feel like it was Camilla's and she's talking Jenna into it.
Right, yeah, I can see that.
Right?
That's fine, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Camilla lost 15 pounds and now she just wants to be naked all the time. And it's like, just because you lost 15 pounds doesn't make you hot. It's like, it doesn't matter what weight you are, Camilla. Like, that has nothing to do with your hotness level.
She did that, yeah, because she stripped again. Not completely naked, but she did that.
Yeah, and the argument with Amanda, she randomly just starts dancing around, and she's like, whatever, I'm looking fine. And it's just like, no, Camilla, you're not good looking. It doesn't matter what your weight is.
But that's what you said. You were just like, I feel like Camilla lost some weight, and now she wants to show it off. Because Amanda, they're in this heated debate across the house later in the episode, and Amanda's like, oh, you're a fat fucker, you know what I mean? And Camilla just strips naked, and it's like 2 minutes of her saying, like, nothing, really. She's like, oh, yeah? And she's just like, admire me, boys and girls and shit like that, you know what I mean? It's kind of desperate. You know?
I don't know that it was desperate. I think it was like a play at comedy, kind of.
But I thought you just said, like, Camilla lost some weight, and now she feels like she has to flaunt her body now.
Well, yeah.
That's a little desperate. And
she was just doing it. Well, yeah, I guess. She was doing it as just comedy, but, like, you can tell there's that weirdness to her about it.
That's weird comedy, man. Like, what kind of comedy is
Because it was funny. Everyone was laughing when she's dancing and she's giving the finger up there.
Yeah.
That was a funny moment. Yeah. And I was like, oh, Camilla's dancing. She's not giving a fuck. She was not angry about it. She was having fun with the argument, which is different than, like, the normal Camilla where she freaks out in a weird mode. This time she was kind of trying to roll it into something like at least a little bit of comedy too.
That's true. Well, that's such a small part. Let's just keep on going through this episode. Next, Nicole is talking up Laurel. Laurel just, I feel like she just came out of the confession room. And she's like, yeah, I was doing this confession room, but I wore this shirt where I exposed my sexy shoulders and shit. And Nicole's like, yeah, you are sexy. And she just says, like, everything about you is. And she like that. I don't know, she's really talking up Laurel, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Laurel's not necessarily being, like, either being annoyed by it. If, like, a dude was so like, you are sexy. Oh, my God. Live with me in my mom's basement or attic. Whatever you want. A or B. What do you want, baby? You know, C? Cellar? We'll call it a cellar. You know what I mean? Whatever you want. But, like, what Nicole is doing with Laurel is... charming, apparently.
She's just being friendly and nice, as if she was straight,
yeah.
but they full well know she's not straight. So there's an implication there.
Yeah.
And Laurel is liking the vibe.
Yes, because later on, Camilla is talking to Laurel, and she's like, you seem a little different about this when we talk about Nicole. Do you feel a certain way? Have you ever felt this way about a girl? And Laurel's like, not really. You know, like, with... the restrictions of social norms.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I am curious, but I'm scared. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
what
said
would my
that,
dad say? And shit?
You know, she was worried about what people think.
Yeah.
And that she's like, I wish I wasn't afraid of, like, because she doesn't want all the ridicule from outside people.
Yeah.
If she was to do something lesbian. What I have to say to that is, come on, Laurel. Stop giving a fuck what other people think. And it's not just to do with this case, but it's like everything she does, like, when you're this pretty girl and everything you wear, all your hair, your makeup, that's all focusing on what other people think. Mm-hmm. You need to do stuff that is not focused on what other people think. Like Cara Maria, she's completely guilty of this. Cara Maria only cares what other people think.
That's true. I mean, you know, yeah, you know, claim to be a weirdo, but, you know, within weirdo standards, are you too weird? You know, you could still be socially awkward and shit. I don't know what we're talking about, man.
Well, I just think that Laurel, she shouldn't use that as an excuse. Like, I'm worried about what other people think for why, that's why I've never explored, like, doing anything lesbian.
Really?
And then now she's just using that as an excuse.
Well, yeah, you say, like, go ahead and not care, but this is a very real moment. I want to say it's a real moment, but, you know.
Because, like, if you're a girl like her, if she wants to do something lesbian, she totally can. It doesn't have to be in front of your dad or your family. Just do it at a drunk party somewhere where there's only going to be, like, a couple witnesses,
oh my God, that's
right?
true. Yeah,
like,
really.
The whole world isn't going to know about it. Just experiment at some drunk party.
But this is the first time ever that any girl has flirted with her as much as Nicole has, and has been as charming. Because eventually...
And Nicole has a six-pack, and Laurel digs that.
Yeah, that's true.
She's into it. She's into it hard.
Okay, but we have to talk about this chronologically, whether we want to or not, because they go to the bar, and Nicole lets Cara Maria do body shots off her. And they dance, right?
Yeah.
They're doing all this shit, and Laurel starts to get a little bit. She gets jelly, as they say.
Oh yeah, she was totally jealous.
Yeah.
And well, Nicole even said, she was like, Laurel, you're hot, but Cara, you're hotter.
Yeah, you're hotter.
Oh, and she's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
She just loves that.
You turned on by my fucking outrageous accent? I hope you are.
You know I can sweet talk a motherfucker.
My breath smells like fucking peanut butter. Oh, yeah? I hope you like super crunchy, fucker. Right?
Let's get another shot up at the bar.
Yeah, well,
And let's go out to the dance floor.
Fly. You know what? You're flawed. Yeah, I do feel floored by this. I am angry. No, I'm saying you're flawed. You mean I have... I'm flawed? Yeah. You're flawed. But you know what? All right, let's fucking... All right, what else is next? Oh,
but like, after all this flirting with Cara Maria and Nicole, then Nicole's like, well, okay, now I'm going to go over flirt with my other girlfriend that I like. Her name is Laurel.
Right.
And she starts flirting with her, and she's like, no, I don't... Just go away. Laurel's sitting there on the stool.
Yeah.
She's like coming up to her, whispering in her ear, like, hey, let's go dance. And she's like, no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
And she's like, I've just seen you paying attention to Cara Maria for like the last hour straight, and now you're going to come and give me sloppy seconds? Like, no, I'm not your number two. Yeah. And, like, Laurel stood up for herself, and I was like, fuck yeah, Laurel. That was the most mature, smart thing you could do in that situation, is just be like, nope, I'm putting a stop to it now. And that's what Laurel did. I thought it was great. She's like, nope, not happening.
And I was, like, somewhat relating to Nicole in a little bit. Not relating, but identifying. What she was doing was just having fucking fun. She was being an asshole. She was playing two girls off each other. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And Laurel saw it for what it was. She's like, listen, whether you're a guy or a girl, I know what you're fucking doing. You're not going to fucking play games with me. Like, fuck that. You know what I mean? So I was like, wow, that's cool. I have identified with Laurel and with Nicole. You know what I mean? Because I've both done those things or have those things done to me. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I've done what Nicole's doing, where I'm playing two girls, and we both kind of know it. Well, at least one of them knows it for sure, and the other one's a little more naive. But then the other one gets wise to it, and then it's all over from there.
And then it all goes down horribly when they're like, "Hey, let's go to the bathroom with each other," and they talk. And you're like, "Oh God, no!"
Oh no! The girls I know, they're still enemies to this day, and they would murder each other. At least the one would the other one. The other one was no part of it.
The other one would sit on the other one? You saying the other one was fat?
What? No. I didn't say sit.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, at that same bar, at the same time, the same night, Laurel kind of gets into it with Amanda. She's like, you know what? About last night, with the pranks and shit, the 911 call we were referring to, you know, where it was like Hunter and Ashley just screaming at each other because of the pranks. Laurel saying, it was meant to be funny, right? And Amanda says, but it wasn't. And they go back at each other like this for a long time. Laurel says it was supposed to be funny. Amanda says it wasn't, right? That is the main stemming argument that they just will not step down from. You know what I mean? Right?
Okay, Corey.
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, it was just a joke, but
that's
Amanda
obviously
keeps
a reference
bringing
to
it
a
up.
physical thing that I was doing. Remember, this is a podcast, Dave. No one saw that I was rubbing my hands together like
Vince
Corey
is talking, rubbing his hands together, just like Corey does in his... Anytime, just watch Corey next episode. When he starts talking, he starts doing stuff with his hands, and it's just, like, very unnecessary.
He's always hustling. He's like, yeah, I got a bitch here in the corner.
He's talking about what happened in the mission. This is the only time I get to talk on screens right before the mission, because I have no relevance in the other part of the episode. That's Corey's thing. But Laurel is getting into a shouting match with Amanda, because Amanda's still upset over the hazing that happened with the potato chips in the bed.
Yeah.
And she's still upset about it, and she's like, it's not funny, but it's like, well, it's kind of funny because you're reacting to it so much.
Right.
She was so upset about it. It's like, that makes it funny if you're going to take it so personally.
Yes, but we also have to include, I mean, I'm being annoyingly a devil's advocate right now, but I do want to say, remember they took the toilet away from them before that. So it wasn't just like one prank. It was two pranks.
But that was bananas. That was a separate thing.
Still though, I mean, I'm sure the underdogs don't give a shit if it was just one champion. It was all the champions, right? Because they all ask that the underdogs treat them like royalty, right? So, yeah.
Well, the champs, they're the vets, and they're coming in there, and they're like, hey, we're going to fuck with them some. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's like to be expected. If you have that many people living in the same house, you're going to have people screwing around with other people and playing pranks on each other.
Okay.
So, it's like, it's part of the game. Like, if anything, just do something to them back. Like, what are you afraid of?
That's true. It's a good
Take
point.
their clothes and throw them in the pool. Like, it's been done before, but it's something. You know, if you want to really start something over it. Or be clever and outthink them in a prank. Like, do something that can really, like, blow their mind.
It's true. Yeah. Or just laugh at the prank. That's what they were saying. They're like,
brush it
if
off,
you want to get out of
reaction.
here, just laugh. That's all you have to do. If you get mad, we're going to prank you again.
Yeah, because it's all about the reaction.
Yeah. Okay, so back at the house, it's still Laurel and Amanda.
I think
about
Camilla
the same
shows
thing.
up, and she goes full Camillinator.
Yes. Which is finally happened. Yeah. We've mentioned about how, like, maybe Camilla has outgrown this. Maybe she's matured in some sense. No. I know this will happen every time she's there.
Yeah. And it's to
real
be
or not?
expected,
Real
I guess.
or not?
I think it's real, but this time it's a little more smartly done, where she knew she wasn't getting into it with a guy, and it wasn't going to get physical. The producers were right there to hold them back for the entire thing, you know, because they're always being separated. They weren't pulling them away, but they were just making sure. They would just yell at each other. And,
yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, in between this, or maybe right before this actually happens, the Camilla Amanda thing, was this great moment between CT and Bananas is there with all the other champions, and he's like, who just starts fires and takes off, not dealing with the consequences? Who does that? Who just stirs the pot for the sake of doing it and taking off and shit? And CT's like, well, you've done that. Yeah. And everyone's laughing, and Bananas like gets kind of serious, like, what do you mean? When have I ever done that? And CT pauses, like, are you serious? That's all you do.
You start fires and you run away. That's what Bananas always does.
And Bananas has no response. He just goes on with a conversation of something else. He just starts talking about them again.
He kind of looks down and he scratches his beard. And he's like, well, you know what the thing is? And then he just changes the subject. And I was like, dude, like, you didn't even have, like, a defense, like, no. I don't go around talking drama stuff about people. Like, if they get into it with me, it's because of who gets voted in or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just out of a prank.
Yeah.
Like, he should have defended himself in some way. Because Bananas is the king of spin, and anytime you throw something at him, he always turns it so he looks in a good light. But this situation, CT just served him and just spiked it in his face. Bananas had no response.
Oh, that's totally true. I mean, you know, eventually in this episode, I will question whether Bananas really truly knew he was being a hypocrite saying that, saying like, who starts fires and just leaves, who just stirs the pot and just watches it and says, you know, grab your popcorns, ladies and gentlemen, let's see this happen. Or did he truly believe he's never done that before? Or does he really truly don't remember that that's what he's known for? You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm curious.
He's saying it in character of Johnny Bananas. When the camera's around, Johnny Bananas is playing the actor of Johnny Bananas, who's the guy in the challenge, and he's like, I have to say stuff where it makes me appear that I'm not that way, so I have to act like I'm not that way. So when somebody else does something, he chimes in, oh yeah, I would never do anything to start anything. And I was like, well, what did you do last year? You woke up Tony when he was passed out drunk and be like, hey, you need to calm down your partner. You need to confront her and make her be quiet. And Tony's blackout drunk, and then they get into a fight and he gets sent home. It was completely Bananas' fault. He started that.
Yeah.
That's the most recent example of him starting fires out of nothing.
It's totally true. I mean, you know, we'll reach back into that episode. We'll reach back into that issue later in the episode. But, yeah, at first I'm just like, does he know that he's making this shit up? Does he know that he's full of shit? Like, eventually, a lot of the best assholes in the world know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
But then there's some assholes who you're just like, you really can't tell the difference between your own bullshit and what the truth is anymore. Because you are just you're lying constantly. You know? This isn't just a role you're doing with the cameras. You're like this in real life.
I think Bananas knows the bullshit that he pulls over
We'll
people's
see.
eyes.
This is why I'm raising this question mark.
I think he knows.
And we'll reach the... yeah?
I think he's so smart where he has to know the bullshit that he feeds.
So you don't think that he realized that CT called him on his bullshit right then?
No, I think he realized it, but I don't think he thought he was going to get caught when he said it.
Oh, okay. Because that's the main
Because he has that ego thing to him,
right.
where he thinks he can say anything and he's not unchecked.
Okay.
But now with this season, with CT there and Darrell there, Bananas hasn't done any of his weird shady shit because he knows there's two vets who know what the fuck's up and they're going to call him out on his bullshit. So Bananas hasn't done anything out of the ordinary. Like his entire season, he's just been there, said some cliche lines that we've already heard before.
It's true. It's true.
So this was him again, just like cowering down to CT and be like, yep, you're right. I should just keep my mouth shut and try and play my game and hope I win at the end because I'm not going to be able to politic my way around with these vets who know what's up.
That's true, man.
They're smarter than Bananas.
That's true. But so all those champions are there in a group. On the other side of the pool is Amanda And she's like, you know what? I don't give a shit if you're a champ or what. I'm going to keep on talking shit. And that's exactly what Amanda does. And that's why I kind of like her. She will not step down. She's yelling across. She's like, Camilla, you were raised in Massachusetts. That is not an accent. That is a speech impediment.
And that was like the funniest damn thing I've ever heard. Is it offensive? Probably, hell yes. But it was so damn funny to me.
Wow.
Because Camilla, she doesn't sound like she's Brazilian, and she doesn't sound like she has a Boston accent. She just has a weird voice. She just has a weird, unique voice. I've never heard anyone talk the way Camilla talks. And that's, like, Amanda just goes for the low blow, and she's like, just says it, and I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. And, because you can tell, and it's funny because they're just hurling the most insulting things they can at each other. This is like, an open mic session at a comedy club. They're just hurling insults at each other, just trying to top the other person, and they're both, like, blackout drunk from the bar. Like...
That's true.
Everyone is drunk. Did you know that, like, ever since the Camilla Tony episode of last season, they toned down on the drinking? And there really wasn't a lot of drinking on this show. This is the first time since that episode where I remember them going out and visibly getting drunk. Like, you could tell they were drunk. Because earlier this year, they went to the club, but it all seemed like they maybe had, like, 3 drinks or 4, and
Camilla
they went home.
and Corey hooked up. Basically, Camilla, like, just bring Camilla...
It was just
that's what
enough
it should
alcohol to lubricate a relationship, but not enough to start a fight.
It shouldn't be, let's take all the cast to a bar. Let's just bring liquor to Camilla. Because that's what happens. That's the only thing that happens when they get drunk. Well, Amanda, too. Let those two drink and let them fight each other, because that's what we really... want, and that's what's really just only going to happen. Really, nothing else happens tonight, right?
Yeah, because Ashley, she's liquored up and getting into fights, but this episode, we don't know where the hell Ashley is.
Exactly, and Amanda yells at Ashley a little bit. She's like, "Where the fuck were you?" Like, I have Camilla, Laurel, a little bit of Cara in there, maybe yelling at me. Where the fuck were you? And I was saying that too. I'm like, Ashley, where were you?
I'm completely in Ashley's corner. She does not want any part of this stupid drama.
Right. Yeah, she said
she was like, this is dumb. Ashley got super upset about the toilet seat thing. That was part of their pranks. She was going to pack her bags, going to leave. She decided, okay, I'm putting it behind me. She doesn't want to get involved with it and bring up the pranking again.
If anything...
So she's just staying out of it, and I respect that.
But if anything, Amanda was building off of that frustration. Defending her friend. Going into it. Yeah. So, Ashley, that was kind of lame. That you weren't around,
sometimes your friend takes it to the next level, and it was like, dude, we didn't need to take this to the next level. It's nothing. Just blow it off. You're fine.
All right. I feel like Ashley should have been there a little bit. But she did hold her own, especially with the Camilla burn that she delivered. That was pretty sweet, so that's fine. Okay, so the next morning, Jenna, Camilla are talking to Nicole, and they're basically saying, yeah, you probably kind of ruined this with that girl and whatever, and Nicole's like, no, you know what happened? They're both gonna love me.
Yeah, and she's like, they're my friends, or whatever. She didn't say that, but she's like, they both... We're just having fun.
No. To me, she was saying they're both going to love me because I played one off the other. To me, she was... Nicole is just like fucking a friend of mine.
No, Nicole, I think, was completely innocent, just doing stupid young stuff, thinking she's having a fun time with 2 different girls.
Yeah.
But she doesn't realize that those 2 girls have a past and a friendship, and they're both going... after the same person. Like, that's not in Nicole's mind. She's not even thinking about that. She's just out there having fun. Like, hey, I'm on the show. I'm gonna meet a couple girls.
Yeah, but that fun to her is playing 2 girls against each other. Because what she says is, both of them will love me, and why wouldn't you? I love me. This is a friend of mine or myself sometimes where we're playing 2 girls off each other. I've done that. As horrible as it is. You know what I mean? Like,
you would do that.
Like, there's...
I'm not judging. I'm just acknowledging.
Okay, well, okay. The reason why I said me is because I totally could have said DJ Matty Nice. He's also done that. You know what I mean? We've been there for that.
Yeah.
You know,
this has been
and other friends. We've seen them do that. Where
tale
like,
as old as time.
Yeah.
Seen it all before.
Song as old as rhyme, man. Fucking Beauty and the Beast is #1, man.
It's a good movie. Kind of, not really.
I've never seen it.
You can miss it.
All right, well, anyways, so now let's get to fucking the mission of the day. Holy shit, we've been trying to make this last longer. No, we were trying to zip through this episode, by the way, guys. We cannot do that apparently. We're finally at the mission.
Will now that we're at the mission because the mission's pretty short and it's pretty easy to describe what happened.
Oh yeah, maybe. All right. Well, it's Fallout. It's worth $15,000, right?
Yep.
You got to hold ropes. It's on this pivot machine over the water. Right?
Yeah.
It's a champion's day, so whatever champion lasts the longest on these ropes will be the
not
winner.
be an elimination. And there's 3 guys and 3 girls, so you have to win. Otherwise, if you don't win, you're going in.
Exactly. So we'll start with the female heat. And it's crazy. It starts off, everyone falls, right?
Yep.
Everyone falls except for Camille and Cara. So either way, the veterans are going to win, or the champions, sorry, are going to win this heat. And it's up to Camilla and Cara. Camilla
starts wrapping the rope around herself.
Around herself, yes.
Yeah, she's all tying herself in it, and she's like, rather than just hold it with my arms, I'll just tie myself in this rope.
Yeah.
And then when it starts to tip, like she starts to fall onto Cara Maria, and they say that it was unintentional, but it looked like she was trying to push Cara Maria off. And I was like, this is genius. Yeah. Tie yourself in the rope, push her hands off it.
Did it look intentional?
It looked intentional to me.
Really? I didn't see it that way. In fact, I barely saw it. I just know that she wrapped herself up.
But when they were falling, it was like she hit her, and then her feet went directly where her hands were on the rope. And it looked like there was contact there.
Oh, really?
And it was like, you're trying to stand on her arms or like kind of her shoulder. Like,
knock the wrist down. Okay.
Yeah.
Control the wrist.
Yeah, you gotta have wrist control. And, like, Camilla was doing that, and she totally, like, she outsmarted Cara. Cara's just hanging there and dangling, using her 2 hands to hold on. Her 2 hands and her arms and her shoulders. Camilla's kind of wrapped in it, and we see who wins. Camilla wins because they're both holding on at the end. Like, Camilla's not even wrapped in it anymore. She's just doing her arms, which was stupid by Camilla. She should have, like, stayed wrapped up, but somehow she got untangled from that, and she's just dangling. She slides down a little bit, and then Cara, she sees her, like, slide just a little bit, and Cara just lets go. She goes all the way down, and then Camilla sees that she can let go, and she wins. That's true. It was like, Cara, you're so much stronger than her.
Split second.
But Camilla was smarter, and she conserved herself by wrapping herself in that rope.
Yeah.
And Cara's all butthurt about it afterwards.
She's extremely upset about this.
She's like, you call it a win?
I call it a win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Camilla totally outsmarted Cara. Cara should have been like, duh. She should have seen it and been like, yeah, that's smart. Because you can tie it around your foot and just stand there.
Yeah.
You could just stand there if you wanted to.
But I didn't see that. Camilla falling on Cara necessarily. I do remember an image of maybe that happened, but to me it didn't look intentional.
It looked intentional to me, but...
All right.
I could be wrong.
Yeah? I have no idea. I only
watched it once.
Only watched it once. Wrote notes on the fly.
I'm trying to
make sense of my fucking chicken scratch. So, let's read my chicken scratch. Next it says the men's heat. Darrell and Hunter are prescribed... no, wait.
Prescribed?
Chicken scratch. I don't know. I'm trying to
prescription. More cowbell.
Trying to decipher this. No, Darrell and Hunter fall first. From what I can remember, I might be off, but I think it is just Darrell and Hunter fall first for sure.
Yep.
Because out of the champions is Darrell, right? Hunter and Darrell fall to the water. And Shane, he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to get rid of the other team. I'm not going to try and survive myself. I'm just going to go kamikaze style and take these 2 guys out. And what does he do? He lunges upon CT and Bananas. Maybe, headlocks, maybe? Something like that? But he takes them both down, right?
He runs and he grabs not just one of the guys. Like, Hunter did that to, what's his name? To Darrell.
Darrell, yeah.
But, like, Shane does it, and he does it to CT and Bananas. He grabs onto, like, both of their shoulders or something, and just, like, rips them down. Just grabs onto their vests and just goes down and brings all his weight down on them and pulls them off.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Like, I thought maybe they could do that. I was thinking before it happened, I was like, well, CT, I'm like, he's a big dude. He could go in there and just, like, check somebody and just push him that way and just make him slide off.
Yeah.
I thought that could happen, but instead they just go for the ropes, and Shane was brilliant with it. Such a good idea.
So CT takes down CT and Bananas get taken down by Shane, and it's just Corey and Nelson left. So right away, the underdogs are going to win this no matter what. You know?
Yep, they're the last people standing.
So it comes down to Corey and Nelson, and I think they're just kind of hanging there, and eventually Nelson...
They know they just need to get the long enough time where they beat the girls' time, and that will mean that they win.
Oh yeah, that's
the $15,000.
That's right.
So they're just going to hang on long enough, and I feel like they hang there for a couple minutes probably, and then they let go.
Do you think Nelson let go because he's like, all right, well, we won?
Yeah. I think
we're going to let go at the same time, Corey, right? Because we're friends. And Corey's like, yeah, of course, bro.
Oh, yeah. Maybe there's a little competition there.
But Nelson was tricked, and he let go early, and he fell. So Corey ended like, there's no points in this one, so it doesn't really
bragging
matter, right?
rights.
Yeah, bragging rights. Yeah, exactly. But our man Corey, our boy, whatever.
Your boy.
I like Corey.
I don't know.
No?
He was making fun of what's her name because she peed the bed. He's kind of immature, and then he's immediately getting with Camilla. Corey's turned into a player. He's like the new Tony. Like,
oh my god, yeah.
I'm totally off of Corey. Like, he used to be cool.
It's
I
not
kind
the
of
same
dug
with
up.
Corey either for me.
He's been kind of a d-bag every once in a while now, so I'm just like,
oh my god, yeah.
I'm kind of I don't know. He used to be in like the good pile of guys I rooted for.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of setting him off to the side. He's not with the people I hate, but I'm like, you're on probation until further notice. Like, I'm not a fan of yours right now.
I see that.
You got to do something to redeem yourself.
You're making him sleep on the couch. Good for you, girl.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm making Corey sleep on the couch.
Well, anyways, the underdogs eventually fucking win because I felt that way. I mean, we'll get to the actual win. Yeah, they win. $15,000. So, there you go. And the champs, the mini game within the champs, Camilla's safe. We saw her fall right after Cara did, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Like, I don't think Camilla was like, okay, Cara's finally in the water, now I'll let go. No. Cara just fell right before Camilla did.
Well, I think, like, Camilla started to, like, slide down it, and then Cara Maria saw it, and she, like, got excited, and then she just let go.
Oh, really?
Like, almost assuming that Camilla was going to let go completely, but Camilla just, like, rested her hands and, like, got another grip again. She just slid down a couple feet. And then Cara just let go, thinking that maybe she was going to time it right.
So Cara Maria went from being very tight to being excited and getting really loose?
Yeah, she loosened up, and she lost her grip.
So Camilla's safe. That's crazy. Because
because
Cara
like, Camilla, I've always
Laurel.
thought, is weaker than Cara and
Totally.
Laurel.
Yeah, totally.
So, like,
She is.
Camilla being there, she's the oddball out now because I'm like, she can't hang with these other girls. And somehow, this team event, it narrowed down to two of Cara Maria and Camilla, where they got to battle each other, and you know they were trying to beat each other. Like, with Nelson and Corey, I don't quite know that they were trying to beat each other's time. With these girls, they definitely were. Mm-hmm. Because they still thought the money was on the line.
Right. But yeah,
great.
Now it's going to be Cara versus Laurel. That's crazy. We've seen this before, but we'll get into that later. And now, finally, they're like, okay, who won for the guys, right? Because we all know Darrell's out of the picture because he fell first, thanks to Hunter, right? Yep. So now it's like, well, Shane took them both down, first? And it was great. TJ was like, you know what? It won by a foot. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, someone landed a foot before someone else fucking landed?
I know. I was thinking like some shady Royal Rumble finish where it's like, oh, only 1 foot hit the ground. This guy's other 2 feet hit the ground, even though that guy's foot hit first.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what? I thought it was going to be some kind of shenanigans, but it wasn't. It seemed legit. Like, Bananas hit the water first.
Yeah, and that's because Shane held CT the closest.
Yeah, he was grabbing him by the neck, so he kind of flattened him out, and he was kind of falling backwards.
Right.
So his legs lifted up.
Yes, and Banana's legs, his feet hit about a good foot before CT's did. It was crazy.
And it was almost like Shane did an easy job of getting rid of Bananas. He was just pushing him down and just with his body weight. But then he's trying to choke out CT because he was like the bigger threat.
Yeah, he's like, you were my first elimination, man. Like they were the first elimination.
Wow.
Over cookies and milk, man, and spinning and throwing up and shit.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. So it's Bananas versus Darrell. CT's safe, but we have the number 6. We have not number 6. No, he's won a 6-time champion versus the 4-time champion. This is amazing.
Yeah,
this is gonna fucking happen. That's awesome, right?
Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels,
yeah,
huge.
Man,
I think that makes Bananas Undertaker.
You know how many dislikes we just got from our audience who are like, fuck you, WWF. And we're like, actually, let's talk only WWE. And they're like, fuck you. I only see 2 W's when I tune in. I'm like, oh, that's because for some reason, why do they just put 2 W's in there?
What do you... Oh, their logo, it makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly. See?
But if you turn it on its side, then it's an E. You turn it on its side.
That's how you view it.
Apparently.
That
makes no sense.
The point is, as soon as you start talking about wrestling, everyone's like, fuck you. Like,
well, no, people don't care. It's when you dwell on it like you're doing, then it makes it awkward.
For comedic effect, it's not worth it. Okay.
You're burying my joke. You're dwelling on it, so it has to look for.
Alright, well, fine. You know what?
It was a nice little anecdote.
It is. But I just think, like, as soon as we talk about wrestling or UFC, everyone's just like, fuck you. Like, we're not gonna fucking tune in for this shit, man.
Well, I watch more than just a challenge.
Yeah.
I'm not watching Catfished. I'm not watching other MTV programs.
I mentioned politics.
This is the only MTV program that I watch. I don't watch The Real World. I don't watch Are You the One. I don't watch anything on that channel. This is the only thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm watching UFC. I'm watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Other corny, stupid shit.
All right, let's finish this fucking episode. Am I right?
Yeah.
We got some
get
shit
to the elimination.
No. Before that, we get back at the house.
Girl talk.
Yes, and Laurel and Cara are talking, and they're talking about Nicole. Laurel sitting Cara Maria down saying, hey, you know what? I feel like Nicole and I had something, and, she's just playing around, right? Yeah. And they both come to the same conclusion. Like I said, you don't want the girls that you're playing with to talk to each other. That's not good. That will never end up good.
No.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's kind of funny because Nicole's girls, Laurel and Cara Maria, they're talking to each other, and Laurel is like spilling all this stuff onto Cara, and Cara was like, wow, I guess I didn't even really realize it, but like she was seriously flirting with Laurel, and like this meant a lot to Laurel. Like Laurel was taking this to heart, and this was like a serious like relationship possibility, where Nicole was just having fun and like whatever, I don't care, we're here just having a good time. But Laurel took offense, and Cara Maria was like, wow, I didn't know that. But, like, Cara 100% has Laurel's back. She's like, you're right, you were wronged. Like, we're best friends, and I need to do what's best for you. And she was like, you need to tell her off,
Yeah. That's true. And then, of course, Laurel's like, yeah, you're totally my best friend ever, and I'll listen to you. And
yeah, and I love that little genuine moment. Like, I felt it. I was like, Laurel actually has some emotion here.
Yeah, but this next scene is all about how Laurel knows she had emotion, but now it's all about
she pulled out
this cold-blooded pullout.
Yeah, she's pulling out, and she's like, I am not showing this emotion anymore.
Because she talks to Nicole, and she doesn't necessarily say, like, yeah, I felt all this and that for you. This is all about her rejecting Nicole. That's all what Laurel wants to do, right?
She turns into this cold-hearted bitch.
Again, she just goes back to Laurel mode, and she's like,
I need to make this a competition, and I need to beat you. And that's kind of what they did with the pranks a little bit. They're trying to just, like, edge him out, and this is what Laurel wants to do. She's like, you're beneath me now. And that's a trait that women can do, or men can do in any relationship.
Regardless of a challenge.
Yeah, where you lead the other person on, and then you reject them. Just to have that power over them.
Yeah.
And Laurel, she likes that power. And because, you know what? I was totally behind Laurel's decision. I think she was right. she should have like said no to Nicole and been like, you're gonna go with Kara and then me. I'm not gonna be your second choice. That was smart. But then the way she had to make it insulting and like try and put down Nicole and make her feel bad, and Nicole like didn't want to walk away, and she's just sitting there and she's like, well, I don't know what to say because you've literally just been insulting me for the last 3 things you've said. And it's like, at first, like, Nicole was like using comedy and like laughing around, like she's like, you know, I'm a lot to handle, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm always just out there just having fun.
And then
like, that's
like,
me.
have you seen me? I'm also a lot to handle. And it's like, okay, let's go back to you. I've had those same conversations with girls where, like, it's not really about the conversation. It's what they came to do. The ending point, the fucking, you know, this is the ulterior motive.
Yeah,
and
this is the goal.
Laurel just wants to fucking put down Nicole so she could feel better about herself and shit. But Nicole, almost like in a guy sort of way, is
kind of
oblivious to it, and yet shrugging it off at the same time.
No,
like
she's not oblivious. She's aware, but she's making it seem like she's okay with it,
right,
or doesn't notice it.
Yeah,
like that's the acting part. I think is like she's acting like, oh, I don't notice this, but at the same time, like, wow. Like, is there any hiding that I don't realize how insulting you're being?
So you're saying Nicole is totally aware that Laurel just wants to throw this little scene where she's like, I'm rejecting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
I think she totally knows.
So,
and I think she's going to be like, Laurel's, you know, I looked up to her and I kind of liked her and I thought we could be friends. But now she's just like, no. Not after seeing this side of you. You can be mean and cold. Like, because you can turn someone down and be nice and gentle about it. And that's what this could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been a nice little playful thing, like, hey...
Yeah, but she was playing with him, wasn't she? Remember that morning where she's like, yeah, either way, they'll love me and shit. Like, she was being a dude that either I have been or friends have acted like that. Now, she's getting her comeuppance. Because she knew she was fucking with Laurel and her... Well, I guess she didn't realize...
She acknowledged it after it happened, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because she was first flirting with him just having a good time. Because she's just meeting new people.
Right.
And then she kind of, like, heard from other people. Oh, this is probably not right. But then she kind of did it anyways. Because she's like, well, no worries.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's move on, right? Let's finish this shit up. Let's get to right before the elimination. We got a little pre-conference talk and shit, and Darrell is saying, you know what?
Oh, goodness.
You know what? Bananas, yeah, he's the most decorated, but I'm hungrier. You know why? Because he does this all the time, but I have yet to have a win for a while, you know? And it doesn't matter. To the both of them, yeah, they both have wins, right? But Bananas has been doing it constantly. It's just very natural to him. So, yeah. Darrell sees himself as, like, he's the fucking challenger now. He's like, no, man, I'm fucking, you know, I've won before. I deserve this way more than you. You know, I'm hungrier. I got more at stake and shit. Like, I love this fucking build-up right now. It's fucking great.
Like, Darrell has nothing to lose here. Like, he hasn't been on the show in years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's proved that he could do it before. Now he's going to try and prove it again. But he's got nothing to lose here because otherwise he'll just be off the show. Then, you know, nothing matters. But, like, Bananas, he has, like, this expectation on him that, hey, you always get to the end. You rarely have to go in. So when you do, it means a lot.
Yeah.
Like, because the last couple times you haven't made it when you've been in elimination.
And elimination, that's a huge thing. Typically, that's the highlight of the episode. That's the last part of the episode. It still should have been. This is a to be continued. We're spoiling this right now. But I still believe elimination should be at the very fucking end. Win or lose, whether you like the character or not, right?
And you shouldn't, like, even if they don't have enough time to show something after someone gets sent home, just at least show that final thing of them getting eliminated. That would be nice. But instead, they just cut it off, you know, where it's tied 1-1 between Bananas and Darrell.
Well, we're cutting so much, but well, this is the thing. The reason why you jumped this one crucial moment. It's not even that crucial, but for me it is. All right, remember Darrell says, I'm hungrier, right? He says all this shit, the reason why, you know, he's like, you know, I want to win because I got kids and I want to take them out camping. You know what I mean? It's it's not this huge, like, no, I deserve to win. Like, my life is in shambles if I don't win. No, he's like, you know what? I'm going to win because I would like this extension on my house. He's saying this almost like presumably because he's that sort of champion. That's what I love about Darrell. He goes about things saying like, this is why I'm going to beat you, and this is why I want to win.
So
that's all it is.
Camper is an extension on your house.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking
so
matter.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, if this motherfucker came up and he's boxing me, he's like, hey, guess what, dude? I'm like, yeah, what is it? And he's like, I want to beat you so I can buy a camper for my kids. That would horrify me. I'm like, what? Like, you're not nervous? You're not mad at me? You're not, like, you know what I mean? This is just business? Like, what the fuck, you know? Yeah, so.
Totally focused in. Bananas has got to be scared against Darrell.
Anyways, Darrell says all that, right? What does Bananas have to say? You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Thank you very much, everyone. That was The Dark Knight. Yes.
Yeah, you completely quotes that movie. It's been quoted a million times before. This is really repetitive, and it's lame from Bananas. And it's like, come on.
No, what's repetitive?
Is there something likable about it? Because I can't find it.
Listen. That's a great movie, right? But the repetitive thing is that every podcast that we do, we're talking about how Bananas quotes other movies. He quotes other people. Nothing is very original about him at all. And he's cutting this promo against Darrell. And that's what he says.
And his line is this a ripoff from a Batman movie. And I'm like, yeah, I know that line. But I'm like, you completely took me out of the argument that was happening.
Yeah.
And, like, does it fit Bananas? Yeah, completely. Like, he was on top. Like, when we saw Bananas at first and he first won on the show, he was a nice guy. But then
I disagree right there.
Okay.
Do you know the first time he won? The Island. And he was a fucking asshole.
That was the first time he won? I thought he won one before that.
Nope. No, he came close. He came close
I thought that was his second win.
He came close with the Inferno 3 as a good guy, ironically enough. That's a laugh.
Yeah.
That's a fucking laugh.
Yeah, he was good there.
We'll see. But when he actually won, though, it was the Island, and he was a complete asshole. He was the antagonist, for sure.
But at the same time, when you watch the season, you still saw Bananas, and you didn't see him. He was still. I don't think he was completely putting
the duel one. He was eliminated the first episode,
but he wasn't. Yeah, but he wasn't putting a terrible light. Like when you watch him on TV, you're like, okay, yeah, I can see why he did that. Like it makes sense. He's justifying his actions.
Not even that of the duel one, but half the episode. Remember that they had a guy and a girl elimination the first episode of the duel. Yeah. I'm just trying to be technically, like, really, bitchy with you.
But still, Bananas was likable in the beginning. That's what I'm saying. Bananas was likable in the beginning. Okay. And I had, even on the island, I was like, yeah, he had reasons to, like, on the show, it wasn't technically his fault. It was Evan's fault and Kenny's fault. They're the ones who did it to Paula. So he gets kind of coverage there. And there was, like, little underlying things where he could deflect blame for stuff. So he was still technically nice at that point. But Bananas, as he's gone on, he's done more dastardly deeds. And he has become that villain where he does terrible shit. He did it to Sarah last year when he stole, her half of the final winnings. When he should have shared it. And just be like, I'm going to be the better person. I'm going to let bygones be bygones. You screwed me in the past, but I will do the noble thing. And I will still give you this money. So now you need to, like, bow down to me and how great I am. Like, Bananas could have taken that route, but no, he just took the money because he's a cheap douchebag.
He's the villain now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. He says the quote, it's a quote. That was just my point, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, say something original, dude. Sure, does it tie into your own storyline? For sure. And you just said how it does, But I'm like, wow. Let's get to it then. You know what I mean? Let's get to the actual fortress. It's the elimination. Before this even happens, at this point, TJ says, like, hey, why do you want to win? Or who are you winning this for?
Yeah.
It's different.
He's like, you're not just doing this for yourself, you're doing it for someone else.
Yeah.
And then he asks all the contestants who else they want to win it for.
Yes. And before this happened, I think it was a commercial, right? Where I turned to you and I'm like, dude, this is gonna be a to be continued right after Jarrell or Johnny Bananas get eliminated. That's what I said, right? I called that shit.
Yep,
right?
you did. 100%.
Well, I mean, I called about 75% of that shit.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
We did not see who gets eliminated from those two. They cut off right before the end.
Yeah.
But, like, you're like, then they won't show the girls. The girls will be left for the next episode because they have a more current storyline between Laurel and Nicole and Carmaria, that weird little lesbian triangle. And they're going to try and milk that out into the next episode. So it's going to be the two guys at the end of this episode. And I didn't think so. And I was like, no, they're going to save that entire thing for the beginning of the next episode. I thought they're going to show all the girls and then show like one round of the guys and then be like, oh, what's going to happen next week?
Well, one would think that they were never going to show any fights or matches or eliminations. I keep on thinking UFC, wrestling, and then the challenge. That's how important the challenge is.
That's a disappointing order, man.
It's sad. It's very sad because
UFC, then challenge, then wrestling.
Yeah, I don't podcast about UFC or wrestling. It's the challenge. My third most greatest interest. So that's sad, but
hardly.
Anyways, this is why I figured we would never see an elimination. Because TJ's like, Cara, who are you winning this for? And she says, my mom, I guess.
Mom?
I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the
I
fuck?
never had any idea. And like at first I kind of chuckled, like, yeah, he just made something up. And then I was like, wait, this is actually really sad. It doesn't seem like Cara has any like family member that she's really close with. Like maybe with her mom and her dad, like, oh, maybe my mom, but it doesn't seem like she has many like people who are close to her.
Yeah,
just Abram, and now Abram's gone, so it's just Cara and her steed of horses.
Yeah, wouldn't that be disturbing if she's like Abram, and you're like, no, that's your boyfriend.
Thomas?
That's not your no. She would be like Abram, and they're like, no, that's your boyfriend. She's like, well, he was family, and you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So thank God that didn't happen.
Like a plot twist where
yeah.
Abram is actually her brother.
Yes.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yes.
That's perverse. None of that. This is not Game of Thrones. We will not have incest.
Yeah, really.
But I don't know. I felt bad for Cara. She's like, my mom, I guess, and it was like, don't say it right afterwards. At least give a dramatic pause and act like it means something.
Yeah, she was just like, my mom, I guess, you know. Yeah. Not very, it wasn't Game of Thrones at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there was some sort of challenger there who was called Hold Whore. You know what I mean? You're like, why they called you Hold Whore? And then there was finally one episode where like Camilla's like, you know what? Hold that whore away from me. Hold, Jessica. And turned out Jessica was Hold Whore. Hold the whore. Hold the whore.
Hold the whore? Hold the whore.
Hold whore.
Hold whore.
Oh wow! All right, well let's stop this, right? Or no, let's finish this. Cara says my mom, I guess, right? Whatever. Laurel says my dad.
That seemed genuine, and I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She talked about like her dad would go to all like her gymnast or basketball games or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember what she said, but like she was like her dad was always there for her when she was a kid.
How much you want to bet that supportive nature when you're doing all those sports fucking built her up to the woman that she is now?
Yeah, it totally made her 6'2" tall, right? Or no, like built her up like emotionally.
Yes,
she
talking
seems
emotionally.
Yeah,
yes,
emotionally,
mentally.
Laurel is very calloused and kind of cold. And every once in a while, she seems nice, but on the challenge, anytime she's nice, even like this season, she was completely nice until later in this episode.
But there's like, yes.
And then suddenly you see this other side of Laurel, and you're like, yeah, that cold, calculated part of Laurel that is kind of just a killer, that comes out.
That's true. There's always like an asterisk with this moment that she shows emotion.
Yeah.
It comes with a reaction.
A weird recoil where it's like, no, you will not get me to think like emotionally and with my feelings.
Holy fuck.
Like, how dare you try and touch my feelings?
How much
She's very guarded.
How much you want to bet that at Laurel's basketball games, her father was like, "Go 10101001." She's like, "Of course, father." You know what I mean? Because she's a robot.
That's she's a robot.
Yeah. You know,
that's really funny, actually.
All right, so okay, TJ says, "Hey, Darrell, why are you here?" And he's like, again with the kids. He's like, "I want to buy a camper, motherfucker." Like, if I was Darrell, I would be looking into Banana's face, saying, like, "Listen, this is just for me to go on a vacation once. Who knows? We might not even do this ever again, motherfucker." Yellowstone, 2018.
Oh
what?
Shit! I want to go to Yellowstone just to see if I bump into Darrell.
That'd be awesome. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Would
no, it's going to be this year. It's going to be 2017.
Would you talk to him?
Oh, hell yeah.
What would you say?
I'm like, "I'm sorry, you look just like Darrell, this guy from this TV show."
And then he's like, "I am."
No, right? he's going to act like, "I don't know who you are."
You would brush it off? Yeah, you'd probably brush it off, right?
Like Dave Chappelle and act like you didn't know who I was. I'd be like,
he's got 2
I know
Netflix
He'd be like, "No, I'm not."
Is that what you're saying?
You should.
All right, and then next is Bananas, and you know what? Bananas, he knows this woman named Casey Harvey, a cancer survivor. And he's like, "You know what? I just wish I was as strong as her. I'm fighting for her." Rip on that, Dave.
Are you serious? I could rip on this all day. Bananas, you trying to make yourself look nice and using a cancer survivor as a prop to build yourself up, Bananas, there's no defending that. There's no defending the kind of scum you are as a person when you could say, "Hey, I want to just win this for my girlfriend." No, he's not winning it for the girl at home that's his girlfriend. He's doing it for this person that he met one time at a DM Brown, benefit.
Right.
And I wish I could be as strong as she is. Like, shut up, Bananas. That's totally insincere, and it's insulting.
You know what? I rarely defend Bananas, but you know what? If I didn't, y'all would go to Ace. So I'm gonna say this.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
That's an inside reference, apparently, for you and I. But no, you know what? He cut off. He had very long hair in Cutthroat. Johnny Bananas was in Cutthroat. Very long hair, and you know what? He had it cut right after that because it was what was it called? Locks for something.
Yeah,
where they cut hair.
Locks
what's it
for
called?
Love. Or
Locks
something.
for Loves. There you go. So he's done charity shit before. Now you know what? Johnny Bananas is an asshole. He's a great athlete, and he does that shit. I'm not gonna, I could rip on him on certain shit.
He does it for money for MTV. He's getting paid for these apperances.
Yeah.
He's not doing it out of the kindness of his heart.
But he did tactically
does this to sell T-shirts and to make money and build his brand. Like, it's disgusting to me. Like, if it was genuine, then you wouldn't be like bringing it up all the time. You would just do it on the side, and that's like an emotional thing that you share with that person that you had this special time with. But instead, he's trying to use it as publicity. And it's like, no. If it's a great moment to you, that doesn't mean you need to bring it up on TV.
Yes, I agree with that. But I also want to point out this other portion. And it's not like I'm trying to attack you at all. I'm just trying to bring this other portion up. Remember when Cody Garbrandt of UFC, when he won the belt, he brought out that cancer patient?
I think he had like a leukemia survivor.
Right? Now, and remember when Cam Newton, he would always give his football to kids?
Yeah.
Technically, on paper, those are good things. Those are amazing things, right?
Yeah. And honestly, I like both of those people. I like Cam Newton, and I like Cody Garbrandt.
Now, if you were someone's public... if you were in charge of someone's PR, public relations, you would have them do those things.
You definitely would.
Right?
But the thing is with those people, with like Cody Garbrandt, like him doing it, it was well publicized, and there was like a video package to it, and you could see that he's done this for years. Like, he didn't just do it just for that title fight. Okay. He's known this kid for years now.
Fine. I think I've heard about that, actually, yeah. I'm just saying, like, the initial...
Bananas, him doing it, it's almost okay. But the fact that it's on this reality TV show with these short little edits where they can't really show a lot, like, that's the problem, is they can't really show a lot about their relationship or that they had a good time. It just cuts to it for, like, 7 seconds, and then it's back to the episode, and you're like, did they just try and sell me that Bananas is a nice guy? Because I still think he's a douchebag. Like, I feel like the production is just trying to push me in a direction of liking him. And that's where I'm standoffish with it.
Right,
like, on other type of TV shows, you can do this type of thing and it can be well demonstrated and you can come off as genuine. But Bananas does not come off as genuine.
And you know what? As I mentioned before, we have referenced WWE, which is a wrestling, it's World Wrestling Entertainment. And we've accused them as playing to the crowd. You pander, you whatever. And just like how the president of WWE loves John Cena, production of the challenge loves Bananas, right?
Yep.
Yes. But it's a little bit different because it's not like production was like, hey, Bananas, you should fucking totally hang out with this cancer kid. No, that was all Bananas himself. Bananas has become a celebrity unto himself. Would you argue that he is the most known challenge celebrity?
Yeah. No. The Miz. The Miz is number one.
Yeah, but he's not associated with the challenge. I mean, like, associated with the challenge. If you think of, like,
currently associated?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's totally
then
Bananas,
it's definitely
right?
him. Yeah.
Yes.
He's Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, I don't know. As soon as we started ripping on it, I'm like, I felt bad. I'm like, no.
Really? I don't feel bad at all. I feel bad for the cancer patient who thinks that Bananas is being a genuine nice person when Bananas is only doing this for his own benefit. Like, his PR person saying, hey, you got to do this type of stuff. It'll make you look better in the eyes of the fans. Yeah. And so he does it. And it's like, it's not even genuine. It's like you're just trying to play this role. I'm sorry, Bananas. I don't buy this shit. He doesn't treat Sarah nice.
Hold on. Is this not recording anymore? Hold on. It might be. Yeah, it is. It is. Totally. All right. Let's go. Let's go again. I'm sorry. I was looking at the camera, looking at the laptop. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, okay, I could have edited all that out.
I know, really. Like, when I thought about it, I'm like, thank Christ. I'll keep it there. Anyways, you know what? TJ asked him that. Burnett said that. Whatever. We're going to play balls in. Balls in.
Balls in or balls out.
Balls out.
You want whatever. The balls in.
Whatever you want to call it. The funny thing about these so-called champion classic eliminations is that we've had this before. That wrestling stick thing between Zach and Darrell, we've had that a couple times.
It's a replay.
And recently,
yeah,
right?
It's a replay of something you've done before.
Yes. So now with this next one, Balls In, we've actually had that before.
Yeah, a couple times.
Free agents.
Yeah, this is like the best of the best. Like, with some of the underdog ones, those have been new ones that we haven't seen.
Which are interesting,
But is that really fair? Shouldn't it be like stuff you've seen before for both of them? Not just one side?
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of these veterans getting the classic eliminations because, no, just one. Just A. Just A all by itself. And when I say A, you would assume that there's a B coming. No, there's just A.
Yeah, just
example one is just one.
Yeah, and then the champions could do one that they've done before, and then the challengers could do one that they've done before, or like the champions have done before. Yeah. But then you just kind of mix it up and keep it even.
Yeah. But we've had these things before. Anyways, let's get to it.
This match was awesome. It's Darrell versus Bananas.
Yes.
And like these are the two like fastest, most athletic guys. Sorry, CT. But CT is big and strong.
You know what?
These guys are smaller and quicker, so I feel like they're a little more spry on their feet than CT. I could be wrong.
I can see that.
But
I can see that.
That's kind of how I analyze these two guys.
I can see that, actually. Yeah, I didn't think about that. But yeah, CT's definitely the biggest. For sure, right?
And we all know this is like a game of football where you have to like juke and jive your way past your opponent and slam the ball into the...
Yeah, what is ball
or it's
necessarily?
Like, it's like football and basketball mixed together.
Yes.
And rugby and wrestling.
Yes, all that shit. Every player will get 3 times to be the offensive player. You got to make it in, and the other person is playing defense. So it's best out of what would you call
3
that?
rounds, I guess. But there's both sides gets a chance per round.
Right. So let's get into it. First, Darrell has the ball. He has to get through Bananas, and Bananas tackles him pretty low, expertly. Right. That's how you want to fucking do it. And Darrell, getting a tech low, he shoots for it.
Yeah.
Like fucking basketball. Doesn't make it, though.
It's like MJ, just like Kobe.
Yeah.
He almost had it. I thought it was going in.
Yeah.
I was convinced. I was like, oh, it's going in.
It hit the rim.
And then it bounces off and he misses.
It hit the fucking rim. It was goddamn close. That was close.
That was a bummer. That would have been a great shot and like gone down and challenge history as like the greatest shot from downtown. He's on fire.
Next is Bananas with the ball. He's got to get through Darrell, and I just remember Darrell eventually tackling him.
He kind of circled at first, and he's like, I don't want him to get my timing.
That's right.
And then I'm like, no, he's learning your timing by watching you go left and right. Like, I didn't think that was smart by Bananas.
He would never enter the actual, area of combat, so to speak.
He wouldn't step inside the octagon. He was dancing around the perimeter. And then once he did, then he tried to run to the outside and kind of juke him. But Darrell just reached out with his long arms and just grabbed onto him. Threw him backwards. He lost the ball.
They were on the ground. I think Darrell just hit it out of his hand, right? Something like that? I don't know. And next, Darrell, he has the ball. He's got to get through it. And you know what? This was... It wasn't very competitive at all. Darrell fakes to the right, maybe, and then just charges through. Enough with Bananas going for it, charges through, makes it through. First point. That's awesome.
Darrell.
Yeah.
Nice. And he's backing up the talk. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to be physical with the Bananas. I'm going to go right at him. He
says he wants to break him down mentally. Yeah. He knows that there's a mind game to this shit, They both know. They both know that.
And it's awesome that he acknowledges that. So like, I want to hurt him physically, make him think that he can't win.
Yeah. But, Bananas before this, he was saying, I don't want to go in there right away and let him figure out my timing. They're both thinking that way. They're like, not only are we relying on just brute strength, but we have strategy here. And mind games. I think that's awesome right now. Yeah. All right, and then next is Bananas with the ball, and I just think Darrell just takes the ball away again. Yeah, just kind of rips it out. Next, Darrell has the ball, and he gets tackled, tries for the shot again, doesn't make it, and then again, Bananas has the ball, and you know what? TJ's like, listen, man, you guys all had your shot.
You need to make this.
Yeah.
And if you make it, then it's tied, but if you don't make it, you lose.
That's it.
So it's not even for the win, it's... You have to make it just to stay in the game for another
to go
round.
into OT, right?
Yeah.
Overtime? Yeah.
But the last shot...
Sudden death?
Yeah, it's sudden death, and it looks like Bananas made it, because it seemed like he was going to dunk it right down in there, and we're going to go to sudden death. Like, that's what it seems like to me.
I
think he's going to make it.
I thought the last portion was Darrell hitting his hand off the ball or something.
No,
is that what it was?
I thought it was Bananas just holding it
really?
right about the dunk.
I didn't see it that way at all. That's crazy.
Oh, we're gonna have to watch this again.
Yeah,
I thought Bananas was gonna make it for sure.
But yeah, cut to black. To be continued. Producers are like, "Fuck you guys! I know you guys want to see a whole entire episode, but
you can't watch the ending. We're not gonna see anyone get sent home.
Yeah,
we're gonna drag this out, and then next episode will probably be a 2-parter as well.
Yeah,
because they won't have time for a finish.
Yeah, they're like, I know you feel like the season really never got its leg underneath it, but
right when we were starting to get full episodes, they had to just nope, not so fast. Can't do this every week.
Totally. When you said that this next episode was probably going to be in 2 parts, I thought you meant that in jest. You know what I mean?
No, I meant it completely serious though. Like,
That's
I've been
crazy.
expecting this. I thought it was going to happen before, and it didn't. So this time, I'm sure it will.
And there was a commenter, saying like, "Hey, I hope it is stretched in 2 parts because that just means more challenge and more people and shit." I'm like, yeah, technically, you're totally right.
Oh,
yes,
shit.
it is cool to point out facts, but in terms of like
the
I just feel like
episode, I always feel disappointed if I don't see someone go home.
Yes,
and
maybe
if
they're
doing 2
we're really old
eliminations.
school, dude.
I guess we're old school, but we're seeing 2 eliminations. At least show us one of the 2. You can make it like,
exactly. At least
you
one
could
of
have
the
done
2.
Car Maria and Laurel. One of them goes home, and then be like, Bananas and Darrell. Which one's going home? We won't show you. And be like, well, at least we saw one of the eliminations. This one, we don't see either.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what?
Battle of the Challenges podcast.
Comment. Subscribe.
They're not even listening at this point.
It's
Just
a cloud.
shut it off. No one's listening. Shut
It's
it
a
off.
cloud.
David Lauer.